If you're adding a secondary suite to a house and you want the existing furnace to serve both units, the interconnected ducts can easily cause a failed HVAC inspection. But there's a compliance alternative that lets you do it the right way. Stick around and I'll show you exactly what inspectors are looking for. I'm talking about duct-type smoke detectors. Let's start with the boring part and look at the code reference. Sentence 9.33.1.1 bracket 3 of the Ontario Building Code is clear. Air duct distribution systems serving one dwelling unit in a house with a secondary suite shall not be directly interconnected with other parts of the house. Normally, that means separate duct systems. This applies to a new house that's purposely built from the ground up as a two-unit dwelling. However, if you're converting an existing house that is more than 5 years old, you can use a compliance alternative from Part 11 of the code. Compliance alternatives are relaxations of the code for renovation work. In this case, we have a compliance alternative that allows the existing heating or air conditioning system to serve more than one dwelling unit in a building up to a maximum of 4 units. There are 2 conditions though: smoke alarms in each dwelling unit and the smoke detector installed in the supply or return air duct system that will shut off both the fuel supply and electrical power to the heating system upon activation. That's where the duct-type smoke detector comes in. If there's a fire in one unit, we don't want the HVAC system to transfer the smoke and combustion products to another unit. Remember, during a fire, most people die from smoke inhalation, not from fire burns. Here's a typical installation I see on a final inspection. The detector is photoelectric and is usually mounted right on the return plenum of the furnace. During the test, rather than pressing the reset button, I want to test to make sure that the photoelectric sensor works. To do that, I use a magnet. There's an area on the detector for placing the magnet for a test. If you hold a magnet there for about 5 seconds, it should activate, which shuts off the furnace. Once the furnace is shut off, I press the reset button, and after a few moments, the furnace should come back on. Depending on the model of the furnace and the type of air system installed, you might have to wait 2 or 3 minutes before the furnace actually kicks back in. That portion of the HVAC final is complete. Here's an example of a test that didn't go so well. So I placed the magnet and the detector activated. However, the system doesn't come back on after pressing the reset button. I pressed the reset button a few times, so there's something wrong with the wiring. The contractor would have to fix it and reschedule another inspection. Here's a few quick tips. Make sure the detector is a listed duct smoke detector, wired to interrupt both power and fuel, and mounted in an accessible spot for testing and service. Also confirm that hardwired smoke alarms with battery backup are installed in each unit. That's the rundown on duct-type smoke detector inspections for secondary suite conversions. Hope you learned something. I'll keep posting more real examples from the field. Thanks for watching.